Good evening, everyone. I am Coach Shelly Lee. I empower aspiring authors to bring their stories to life by guiding them through the writing process and supporting them in achieving their publishing goals. Trying to make sure my volume is okay. Okay. Today's topic is I almost gave up on my author journey, but God. A lot of times we have different things that happen in our lives to give up on something that by no means we want to give up on, but oh, sorry about that. We want to give up on, but because of life circumstances and things of that nature, we feel like giving up is the best option. But how many know that God has a way of making you do things or having you or guiding you to do things that you don't want to do anymore? Let's get into it. Here's my story. It was October the 3rd, 2020. It was my very first virtual book fair. I had invited tons of people via Facebook to come and watch me on this virtual book fair. All they had to do was click the link that I sent and join my virtual room, just like you do on Zoom. So I was ready, I was excited. I couldn't wait for this event to happen. Now, I knew my mama couldn't come because she had to work. But on that day, I sat in front of my computer. I was excited. I had my hair done. I had on my cute little earrings. And I was dressed like I was ready for the stage. But how many of you know I was dressed for a blessing, but sat through a breakdown? I repeat, I was dressed for a blessing, but sat through a breakdown. Let me explain what I mean. The event started at 10 a.m. I was ready to share and ready to shine. But guess what? None of the people that invited came, but I'll continue. I had to talk to myself for a whole hour because it was being recorded. About 10:30, so from 10 to 11, I had to talk to myself for a whole hour, sharing various things about my author journey, how I got started writing, things like that to build up, uh, telling how I built up my brand and my author platform and things like that. Finally, at 10:30, a woman popped in. She was a complete stranger. She told me that she could only stay for 5 seconds. So within that 5 seconds, I shared as fast as I could everything that I could tell her about me and where to find my books. And she told me, keep up the good work, and she left. So I had to sit on that platform for another 30 minutes just talking about random things that I could think of to talk about. Now, I will say that that stranger should have reminded me or would have reminded me that my voice still mattered because she took that time to listen to me. But that is not the way I felt. Once 11 o'clock hit, I shut my laptop down. I marched to my room, locked the door, ripped off my cute little earrings, got into some comfortable clothes, and I cried. I got on my pillow. Before I can get on my pillow real good, I cried. The tears started falling, and I was mad and angry. I told God, I'm done. I ain't writing no more books. I'm not going to be an author coach anymore. I quit. Now, I'll say to you before, when I started my author journey, God told me that there were 10 books that He wanted me to write. At this point, I've self published three. I have seven more that I need to write. But at that time, I had only written two of the books that He told me to write. And during that time, the others weren't going to happen. But how many of you know I quit in my heart, but God never quit on me? Let me keep going. I told him, I told God I had shown up for everybody else in the best way that I can, and nobody showed up for me. I told him I wasn't writing another word. But how many of you know you can't give up on a mission you didn't assign to yourself? I repeat, you cannot give up on a mission that you did not assign yourself to. Now, listen, I couldn't cry real hard, but God allowed me to release only a few tears. He just let a few tears fall, just enough to get the frustration out. Sometimes God will let you cry just enough to release it, but not enough to quit. Just enough to release it, but not enough to quit. So I laid in my bed the rest of that day. I grappled with my emotions, I grappled with my feelings, and about 1:18 p.m., I got a message from a Facebook friend named Lorinda. And she asked me on Facebook, how did it go? I told her, I said, I might be quitting. So I was done talking with her. I didn't have nothing to say to her. So then at 1:21, she messaged me again. And she says, look, do not quit. And I'm thinking to myself, you don't tell me what to do. I'm a grown woman. I said to myself, I quit and I quit. I don't want to hear what nobody else has to say. It is what it is. Nobody else showed up. So I don't care what anyone has to say. I don't care for encouragement. Let me be. So at 1:42 p.m., she sent me a message on Facebook and she told me to call her. And she sent her number. I didn't want to talk to her. I'm like saying to myself, will you leave me alone, Lorinda? I don't care what you have to say. But this woman steady kept, reaching out to me and whatnot. And I just couldn't understand, what she wanted. I don't want to be bothered. I'm done. Shelly has spoken. So at this time, the enemy was sending discouragement, but God was sending a backup team. So while she's saying don't quit, I said, watch me. Needless to say, I don't know if I called her or she gave me um, her phone number. I don't know, but we did end up talking. And she told me, she said, woman of God, you will not quit. Cry if you have to, but you will not quit. So I listened to her. I heard what she said, but it was only on surface level that I heard her because I wasn't feeling what she had to say. So then later that day, my mama called and she asked how it went. I told her the only person that showed up was a stranger and she only stayed for 5 seconds. Her reply was, that's how people do. But it's okay, baby. God will fix it. I listened to what she had to say. I wasn't feeling mama either. So, needless to say, I thought to myself, no, ma'am, Shelly will fix it by quitting. Later on that day, my daughter got up or she came into my room and she said, how did it go? I told her what happened, that only a stranger showed up. She stayed 5 seconds. I told her how I felt humiliated sitting on the platform talking to myself, basically, and no one showed up. And I told her I was quitting. She said, I don't think you should give up. So here it is. Lorinda says don't quit. Mama says don't quit. My daughter says don't quit. So by that night, I had still made peace with myself in quitting. But how many of you know my lowest moment became my loudest message? I'll say when God says it's not over, it's not over. So at this point, 2 days later, I'm going about my business, minding my business, doing what Shelly wants to do. And on October the 5th, 2020, I got a message from Jarmel Roberson. He is part of Swag Her Magazine. I love Swag Her Magazine, by the way. He asked how it went on Messenger. I told him the truth. I said it was awful. I had no support, and I give up. So as you can see, I was still on my give up mission. I was still on my quit mission. He said, "Oh no, ma'am, that's a no go, queen. The man above has the final say. You just have to keep pushing." At this point, I thought obedience is not based on attendance, it's based on assignment. That message broke me in a good way. After hearing all the encouragement, I decided, fine, Lord, I'll be obedient. And here I am today, still coaching, still obeying, because I realize my author journey isn't just about a book, it's about someone else's breakthrough. And as I was going over my message on yesterday, I was thinking about if I had to quit, I wouldn't have wrote my third book. Let me encourage you to pray, believe, and wait. If I had to quit, I would have had two book signings that were pretty successful. If I had to quit, I wouldn't have met Ashley Marie. She is one of my VIP is what I'm trying to say. She's one of my VIP clients. Um, I wouldn't have met her in person in Houston, Texas for her book signing. If I had to quit, I wouldn't be receiving passive income on some of the digital products that I've created and on my books. If I had to quit, I wouldn't be doing what God told me to do. I would have been disobedient. And I remember something Ashley Marie said back in the day. She said, Jonah still had to complete the assignment. Now, y'all know that Jonah was told to go to Nineveh, but he ended up getting into a whale, being swallowed by a whale. And you would think that because he's in a whale, he can't complete the assignment. But Jonah was still told to go to Nineveh. So Jonah still had to complete the assignment no matter what the circumstances was. And Coach Shelly Lee had to still complete the assignment no matter if no one showed up for her. Because she had to know that you have to show up for yourself first. And by showing up for yourself and keep and being consistent in doing that, you never know who's watching. You may not see these people watching you, but they're watching. And you never know what doors and opportunities that will present for you. So I'm glad that I was obedient. I am glad that I wrote the book. I am glad that I wrote the books, and I got more that I have that God has in store for me to write. Now, here are some I can't talk, y'all. Here are three key takeaways for aspiring authors who feel like giving up. Number one, obedience over outcome. You may not see the results right away, but if God gave you the vision, keep moving. Your yes is tied to someone else's healing. I repeat, your yes is tied to someone else's healing. Key takeaway number two for aspiring authors: encouragement will find you. The same way God sent Lorinda, Jarmel, Mama, my daughter, the same way God will send encouragement for you. God knows when you're at your breaking point. He'll send the right people over at the right time. Don't ignore divine encouragement. Key takeaway number three for aspiring authors: your story still matters, even when no one shows up. I got to say that one again. Your story, my story, still matters, even when no one shows up. Empty rooms don't mean empty purpose. I like that. Sometimes God lets you go through the fire alone so your story can set others free. I think about how I was posted in Making Headline News with Andre Johnson. I think about how I was on a radio show with Calvin Logan. Just so many different platforms. I was just recently in the Testimony magazine. Jessica Reedy was on the front, but Shelly Lee was amongst the pages too. So God will open these doors for you if you don't quit. Now, if you have ever felt like giving up on your author journey, don't. Take it from me. Do not. If you are stuck and you have doubts, I have some things for you to check out. Number one, I have the Author Power Hour coaching call. During this call, you present to me the problem that you're having in your author journey. And before that hour is up, we will go over a solution. I will provide you with a solution so that you can keep going in your author journey. You will have an action plan to help you with the problems that you are dealing with. For me, in the beginning, I didn't have an author coach. I had to go on Mr. How do I put it? I say, I had to go on Miss YouTube and Mr. Google to find out the things that I needed to find out for my author journey. Then I had to piece it all together and learn it like that. So, as an author coach, I am able to provide you with the solutions to the pain points and frustrations that you're having in your journey. Now, that's a one-on-one session. I will tell you, spots are limited. So, if you feel the tug, don't wait. Sign up for that author call. I will provide the link in the description and in the comments. I just created the Author Journey Digital Bundle. That bundle was created, I want to say I created it in February. In this bundle are tools that will help you with your author journey. The first thing is a From Dream to Done ebook. This ebook provides you with writing solutions to your pain points. It provides you with outlines. I think it has a way to outline your book in there. It's chock with a lot of important information. Again, I'm going to provide a description in the comments and in the YouTube description of this Author Journey Digital Bundle. Right now, I'm just going to tell you what's in there. So it's a From Dream to Done ebook. There is a From Dream to Done podcast. There is I Dare You to Write Your First Story workbook. In this workbook, you write down your title, you write down how many pages you think you want to write or how many chapters. There's client testimonials of people who have done this, have purchased this workbook, or who have utilized it in my Write Your Course in 90 Days or Less with No Stress. There is also the 90 Empowering Affirmations for Aspiring Authors. These are 90 days worth of affirmations that are based on my 5P method. My 5P method is what my coaching program is based on, my courses, my ebooks, my workbooks, everything is faith based. And the 5P method is pray, plan, pen, proof, publish. Pray, plan, pen, proof, publish. Try to say that fast. And the last thing I think that is in there, okay, so I told you about the From Dream to Done ebook. I told you about the past, the podcast, and I dare you to share your first story workbook and affirmations. Okay, so that link will be in the description. Aspiring authors, I believe that these two tools, the Author Power Hour call and/or the Author Journey Digital Bundle, will help you go a long way with your author journey. At the end of the day, vent, but don't quit. I will see you on next Saturday. I don't know my YouTube topic just yet, but once I figure it out, I will post it. Now, if you found this content to resonate with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And also let other aspiring authors know that about these videos. I am here for you. I am Coach Shelly Lee. Let's get that book written and done. Thank you for watching. See you on next week. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.